Hey there writers, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Emma and I am a romance writer based in the UK. So today I was just wanting to talk to you about why I am not doing NaNoWriMo or a similar writing challenge this November. So for years and years now, November has been very special to many members of the writing community as the time when we take part in National Novel Writing Month. So this is a challenge, if you didn't know, where writers attempt to write a 50,000 word first draft of a new book in just 30 days during the month of November. And I've done that challenge for the past 3 years and it produced 3 books, which was brilliant. By far the quickest way that I have ever found in order to be able to stop me procrastinating and faffing around and just write a book. In fact, I found it so useful that I actually wrote a book to help other writers to do the same thing. It's called Write, Eat, Sleep, Repeat, 30 Days, 50,000 Words, How to Win NaNoWriMo, and that is available as both ebook and paperback on Amazon if you want to check it out. It's also available to read on Kindle Unlimited if you have that. Anyway, so basically a challenge like that does really work for me when I am happy to commit to it. Now, NaNoWriMo has kind of, I would say disintegrated, but I feel it was more dramatic than that. It imploded basically earlier this year, and the actual sort of company who was in charge of it and the website and everything is no more. But there are people who are continuing to do the challenge and call it NaNoWriMo. There are also lots of other challenges which have popped up, such as Novel November. And what's really nice is that people really are trying to find something that can replace NaNoWriMo and maybe even work better for them. There are so many options available at the moment if you are looking for something like that to do. Now, funnily enough, I do actually have a book that I need to write at the moment. It is the second in a series that I am writing, set in the seaside at Cornwall in the south of England, and that book is due at the beginning of February, I believe. So I do, like I say, have something that I could write, but I'm not doing it all in November, and the simple reason for that is that I don't want to. For the last 3 Novembers, I have been a complete nightmare attempting to write enough each day to be able to hit my target. And the community feel while you're doing that is absolutely wonderful when you've got so many people doing that with you. And also, what's really great is that you have your story moving along so quickly that it's really there at the forefront of your mind. When you sit down to write each day, you know exactly what's going to happen next. You know your characters really well because they are completely stuck in your head, because that's really primarily what you are thinking about for the entire month. But it's also a lot of other things get put aside. If you've got other things that you want to do, you do really have to think about whether you are able to do them for that 30 days, whether you've got time to make up your words the next day or over the next week or whatever. And I just did not want to do that. I've had a really busy few months. Lots and lots of writing and editing jobs because I'm also a freelance developmental editor and I teach creative writing as well. And there's just been a lot going on and I did not feel like becoming that person for a month. So what I decided to do was, instead of planning the book for a month, which is what I would normally do in October, which is commonly known as Preptober because it's when we get ready for National Novel Writing Month, I decided that I was going to write the first draft of this book, which is actually going to be my Christmas book next year, over 2 months. I'm planning a 60,000 word draft, and so it's going to be basically 1,000 words every day, which is just so much more doable for me. I feel that if there was a day that I wasn't able to write, I would be able to catch up with that and it wouldn't be such a big deal. I also thought that it would help me to make better use of October, because honestly, I'm not all that great when it comes to plotting and really preparing to write a book. I probably don't do as much as I could. I mess around a lot, and the amount that I actually produce to help me going forwards is definitely not as much as I could. So I kind of thought that I may as well just be writing for that month. I think at the end of September, I took a little bit of time in between other things just to get an idea of what I was going to write, get an idea for my characters, remember the story from the first book in the series so that I would make sure that everything was working well together. And yeah, then I was ready to go. So I've been doing this for over a month now, and I have got, what is it? Is it like the third or the fourth today? Whatever, however many days I have been doing this for, I have the correct number of 1,000 words. So it's all going quite well. And that's on top of the fact that I had developmental edits that came to me for the first book in the series, which threw me a little bit because I'm not great at working on two different romance books at the same time. I worry that the characters are going to kind of meld together and not be as individual as I want them to be. But I finished those edits yesterday, got them sent off, so now I'm able to focus more on this story anyway. So yeah, basically I'm getting probably a longer draft done because I'm going for 60,000 words, and it's just much more chilled out, and that is what works for me at the moment. You got to work out what works for you. Loads and loads of people start National Novel Writing Month and they run out of steam, and that was one of the reasons why I wrote my book about it, was to help people to set themselves up for success so that they weren't just going into it headlong without having a plan of action, because it is a huge amount to write in a month, especially if you're someone like me who does not write quickly at all. You know, even 1,000 words can easily take me 3 or 4 hours in a day, especially if I'm like checking Instagram and just generally not being as focused as I could be. You've got to be completely aware of what you are getting yourself in for if you want to succeed. And I just knew that I did not want to put myself through that for the month of November. I'm just choosing a much more chilled version, and I'm going to end up with a completed draft at the end of November anyway, so it all works out fantastically. Then my plan is to put that aside for December and then come back to it in January for a second go through, and then it will go off to my editor at the beginning of February. Then I will probably be working on the third book in the series. So, but it is good to have that momentum going with the books, a bit like NaNoWriMo, in that you have got the stories in your head. You're not having to pick them up after a long break between them. Yeah, so that is the reasoning. Basically, let's summarize. I am not doing National Novel Writing Month this year because I could not be bothered to, and I didn't want to. There you go. You got to do what is right for you at the time. Maybe I will go and attempt it again another time. I don't know. I mean, of course, it doesn't have to be in November. We can do a crazy challenge like that at any time of the year if we want to push ourselves to get a first draft done. It's nice in November when everybody's kind of working towards all of these goals together. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you are taking part in some sort of writing challenge this month, I wish you the very, very best of luck, and I hope it is going fantastically for you. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure that you boop the like button and subscribe if you're not already, because we have a lot of fun on this channel, and I will catch you in the next one.